Welcome back. I'm Kevin O'Keefe. Today we're looking at the growing gap between teens who believe in God and teens who don't. With 12 million Roman Catholics in Canada, they're the largest faith group in the country. But despite the numbers, Alan Verghese says keeping the faith isn't always easy. Welcome to the show, Alan. Thank you for coming.
No problem.
I understand that your family moved from Dubai to Canada when you were quite young.
Yeah.
What was one of the reasons for moving to Canada? Why did they choose Canada?
Mainly because we have some family here and education is better here. And also because they thought that this was a Christian country.
Right.
That's one of the main reasons that they moved here.
So the faith was important to them and they wanted you to grow up Roman Catholic.
It was really important to them.
Tell me about when you came here. You were a young boy going to church. Were you moved by the Spirit and inspired by church as a kid?
Yeah, I moved here in grade 7, and I used to live in Toronto. And I used to go to church. I used to be a reader at church. And we used to go to church every Sunday. But we weren't really involved in church until we heard of a group called Gethsemane Ministries.
Right.
And we started going to that. Well, someone brought us to their first meeting.
So can you tell me exactly what Gethsemane Ministries is?
Gethsemane Ministries, to me, it's a family.
Really?
So they're like my second family. It's a youth ministry and an adult ministry where people come every Friday. They give up their time and they praise and worship. They talk about God and the daily struggles that we go through and stuff like that.
And let's back up a bit. Before going to that, I understand you were talking to Patrick earlier that your life was more about partying, be going out a bit, having fun. I mean, which typical teenagers do.
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell me a bit about that?
Yeah, well, I started going to Gethsemane, but I wasn't fully into it. You can say I was lukewarm.
Okay.
So, but I started hanging out with the wrong crowd.
Right.
And I got into popular people. I was a popular student,
right,
you could say.
And that sounds like a great life. Like, why was it that fulfilling?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
But there was something missing.
Really?
Whenever I used to go out and party and just hang out with my friends, maybe like play pool and just chill out, there was always something missing. And I didn't know what it was. And I kept filling that up with other stuff. So I kept myself busy, but I didn't know what was missing. And
so now Gethsemane Ministries comes along. Mm-hmm. Tell me, how is Friday night different now than Friday night going out with your friends, playing pool, chilling out?
Okay.
Just describe for me, if I was to go there, what would I see, what would happen?
First of all, it's completely different scenarios because going out to parties on Friday nights, that was what I usually used to do. And it used to be completely different girls and everyone's like drinking and having fun, just being outgoing and fun. But going to Gethsemane, it actually opened up. Like, it opened my eyes because it's a lot different. When I go there, I'm just releasing whatever stress I had from the week or anything like that.
How do you release the stress?
What we do at Gethsemane is we start off with the Rosary, and then we go into praise and worship.
So for people who don't know, explain what the Rosary is.
The Rosary is it's five decades of Hail Mary, and Our Father, Hail Mary, and the Glory Be.
So these are prayers, you would say?
These are prayers, yeah. These are prayers.
And rosaries actually are beads.
Yeah, I don't have my rosary on me today.
Why? You don't have your rosary? Alan, come on. But
I think it's in my bag.
Okay, but you say a series of prayers.
Yeah, we start off with a couple of prayers. And
for people who wouldn't understand, like, how does that make you feel, or why do you enjoy that? People say, "Oh, praying, come on, that's so boring. Like, give me a break."
That used to be me.
Yeah.
But over a while, like, things have affected me. Things have gone wrong in my life, whether it be with girlfriends. Like, I used to get into relationships and all of that stuff. But after a while, something just hit me, and the only place I could turn to, the only person who I could turn to was God.
Really?
And my faith helped me throughout those tough times. And people say that some Christians think, oh, the Rosary isn't going to help and stuff. But the Rosary is the most important thing in my life.
You're kidding.
I start off the day with the Rosary.
You're kidding.
Yeah. And
I know it's difficult because it's a spiritual feeling that you're having, but can you explain what that does to you to start your day off with the Rosary?
I get up in the morning and I say a Rosary and a couple more prayers.
Yeah.
And it helps me get through the day. Anytime I fall, get into distractions or anything, someone told me, like one preacher actually told me, whenever I fall, get into temptations or distractions, just pray one prayer from the Rosary, which is a Hail Mary, and my head's going to be clear. And that actually does help. Right. Every time I started falling into temptations or distractions, or even in school when I see a really pretty girl just walking by.
Which is pretty normal.
Yeah. Just distractions, and I just pray. I just say the Hail Mary, and right there, it's gone.
Well, you bring up girls, and since you brought up girls, I would bring up girls. I mean, this is something that, I mean, not to stereotype, but a typical teenager, you're out dating, you're meeting girls, yet you practice abstinence, which is a teaching of the church. I mean, let's be honest, that must be pretty tough. I mean, that's not the cool thing to do at school, I would think, right?
It is so hard.
So how do your friends tease you about that, or how do you explain that to people?
I go to school. The first time I moved to Brampton, which was 3 years ago, and I started school in grade 11 in Brampton, and it was a public school, and all my friends there are talking about sex and everything like that, as if it was a normal thing in life.
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
The media portrays it as it's just normal. Yeah. It's all around you.
Yeah.
And at first I was just like, what is this? Like, I have to fit in. And I tried to fit in with that.
Right.
But that's when one of the weaknesses that I tried to fall.
Right.
But I got back up with my faith. My faith helped me get back up. And
did your friends tease you about that, make fun of you?
Yeah, all the time.
Really?
My friends put up pictures on Facebook saying, abstinence, 99.9% true, and just making fun of me.
Right.
But I can't do anything about that. All I did was I actually prayed for them, because there's nothing else I could do. I could deny, I could go up to them and lie to them that I don't practice abstinence or chastity and stuff.
Right.
But I openly tell people I do go with chastity and abstinence.
Where do you think that confidence comes from? Because that's not a popular thing to say in school.
Oh, for sure. It actually, what opened my eyes was Gethsemane, because we have talks, we have preachers and a lot of people coming from pro-life movements and different groups come and talk to us about chastity, modesty, everything. Just everything.
So it sounds like you feel like you're not alone. You're not the only one.
For sure. At first I thought I was alone.
Right.
And after I met these people, different prayer meetings, prayer groups, pro-life movements, and everything, they're like a family to me. So anytime I fall, I can just pick up the phone and call one of them.
Really?
And they'll pray with me, they'll talk to me, they'll guide me.
Now, there are people who will hear this and say, you think you're better than them. You think you're better than your friends. You're so holy. I mean, how do you respond to that sort of criticism?
Not at all. I'm human. I will fall. So are they. They will fall too. And God teaches us not to judge. He tells us to love everyone, whether it's skin color, whether what they do, anything. God teaches us to love. And that's one of the things I tried really hard to do. I tried to treat everyone as equal as possible. I was filled with pride before. I used to be, back in the day, I used to be filled with pride. I used to walk around my school just thinking I was all that. But it's all slowly changing. I tried giving it up to God as a sacrifice. And yeah, we don't think that we're better than
Now, the other accusation people will have is that you're out to convert me, that I have to give up my beliefs to become one of you. Is that something that you're interested in?
I actually talked to one of my friends yesterday. My friend came over, and he's just a lukewarm Christian, just goes to church on Sundays and parties he used to be like me.
Yeah.
So I talked to him, and I told him about the faith, and I just tried to convince him a lot. And at the end, I told him, I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I'm not trying to convert you. You'll convert at your own time. I'm not trying to force anything on you. But I'm just here to let you know that I'm going to pray for you, and if anything happens, you can give me a call. That's just what Jesus wants us to do. That's what my faith teaches. I'm not going to say what you're doing is wrong. I'm going to say lovingly and politely, not saying that you're wrong, but I personally think that you shouldn't be doing this, but I can't do anything about it. It's up to you, and I'm just going to pray for you.
Well, thank you very much for coming in. I do appreciate your honesty. You're a very honest guy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, when we return, a teenager who says her religion makes her a constant target. Stick around.